Most people don't stay poor because they lack talent. They stay poor because they trust the wrong beliefs. They move fast in the wrong direction. They spend decades chasing shortcuts that lead back to where they started. They tell themselves stories like, "Success is about luck. Rich people are born different. I just need that one big break." But the people who rise, the ones who build wealth from nothing, they don't have better hands. They just play the game by a different set of rules. And that game begins in the mind. If you want to change your life, you don't need more hacks. You need a belief system so strong, it becomes your compass when the storms hit. So here's what the rich know, and what ordinary people must rewire to escape the cycle. Belief 1. Get rich slowly, or stay broke forever. We live in a world that worships speed, fast money, instant growth, overnight success. And that's exactly why most people lose. They try to sprint in a marathon. They chase 10x returns in 10 minutes. They quit when results don't show up in 10 days. But wealth doesn't reward the impatient. Wealth rewards the compounding. Warren Buffett once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." And that doesn't just apply to stocks. It applies to life. Want to build a business? Compound effort. Want to master a skill? Compound hours. Want to become a better version of yourself? Compound habits. Because compound growth is invisible at first. That's the trap. At first, it looks like nothing's happening. No applause, no results, no validation. But underneath, the foundation is solidifying. And when it breaks through, it looks like magic. But it's not magic. It's just the reward for not quitting when most people did. The rich don't try to look rich. They try to buy time. They try to buy freedom. And they know the only way to afford that is to let compound thinking take the wheel. If you're broke, it's not just about income. It's about patience. It's about making moves that pay you tomorrow, not just today. That's what makes the difference between someone who looks rich and someone who stays rich. Belief number 2. Don't bet on luck. Bet on rules. Most people try to win with emotion. They bet because they feel excited. They spend because they feel pressure. They quit because they feel tired. But emotion is a terrible compass. And the rich, they know this. They don't follow feelings. They build systems. Warren Buffett once said, "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing." He doesn't invest because something feels right. He invests when the math makes sense, when the business is understandable, when the price is right, when the edge is real. And guess what? That philosophy doesn't just apply to markets. It applies to everything. You want to get ahead? Stop trusting your mood. Start building rules. The 5 a.m. wake-up isn't a miracle. It's a rule. The gym session isn't about feelings. It's a rule. The budget you stick to, the book you finish, the distraction you shut out, they're all part of the system. Because rich people don't just have discipline. They engineer it. They don't wait for motivation to show up. They don't hope their emotions are stable. They build guardrails. They build filters. They build decisions in advance. So when the moment comes, they don't fold. They treat energy like a currency. They invest it where it compounds. Clear moves, long-term bets, deliberate actions. You think successful people are lucky? No. They just remove 90% of what distracts you. They don't need to say no to temptation every time, because their environment already set it for them. That's not weakness. That's design. And if your life still feels like a daily battle with your own impulses, it's not because you lack discipline. It's because you lack a system. Fire belief number 3. Build a mind that earns while you sleep. You've heard the saying, make money while you sleep. But here's the real secret. Make decisions that earn while you think. Build a mind that compounds faster than money. Because the real game isn't outer wealth. It's inner structure. You don't become rich by accident. You become rich because your thoughts are different. Warren Buffett's greatest investment wasn't Coca-Cola. It was the way he thinks. He once said, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." Not in the sense of spa days or self-care quotes, but in building cognitive leverage. A brain that sees opportunities most people miss. That asks better questions. That filters noise like a pro. That refuses to act emotionally when the stakes are high. Ordinary people stay ordinary because they think like consumers. Rich people think like investors. They ask, will this action pay me back in 5 years? Will this decision protect or expand my mind? Does this move multiply or drain me? Because true wealth isn't just money. It's the ability to make good decisions faster, with less emotional friction and more long-term clarity. That's how compound thinkers win. They don't chase trends. They build frameworks. They don't try to be smart all the time. They focus on not being stupid when it matters most. They build internal moats, mental defenses, thought patterns that deflect distraction, resist panic, and focus fire on what actually matters. And in a world addicted to noise, that's not just rare, it's priceless. Now listen, you don't need a trust fund. You don't need an Ivy League degree. You don't need someone to give you permission. You need clarity. You need a blueprint. You need the guts to stick with it when no one claps. Most people fail, not because they were too weak, but because they were too impatient, too reactive, too scared to think differently. But you don't have to live that story. You can build something no one in your family ever built. You can rewrite what success looks like in your bloodline. You can be the first, the turning point, the spark that burns through generations of limitation. But it starts right now, with the beliefs you choose to obey. Belief number 1. Compound everything that matters. Your habits, your learning, your effort, your patience. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Fast comes later. Belief number 2. Stop relying on motivation. Build systems. Set rules that protect your energy. Build habits that fire automatically. Don't trust your feelings. Train your defaults. Belief number 3. Make your mind your most valuable asset. Read more. Think deeper. Detach from noise. Invest in clarity like your life depends on it. Because it does. The market won't make you rich. Your job won't make you rich. Even your income won't make you rich. Not until your beliefs know what to do with it. So I'll ask you now, are you compounding the right things? Or just hoping the wrong things work out? Because time doesn't care what you believe, but your results do. The gap between you and the life you want isn't talent. It's repetition. It's strategic patience. It's invisible momentum, created by beliefs that quietly shape every single decision. And if you master those beliefs, if you install them like steel under your mindset, then wealth isn't a matter of if. It's just a matter of time. Music drops to silence, single piano note, heartbeat rhythm. This isn't a motivational video. It's a blueprint. And blueprints mean nothing unless you build. Final surge, music explodes, layered voices, fire rising sound effects. So build it. Start with the next hour, the next habit, the next right move. Your life doesn't change when you watch another video. It changes when you become the person who doesn't need convincing anymore. Ordinary, that's not your destiny. It's your starting line. So stand up, lock in, and start compounding the beliefs that change everything.